Nick, and they got Tyreek Hill along with some other speed, Waddle. This is going to be a fun team to kind of watch this season.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. I'm really excited to get this one underway because I think this team is going to be one of the pleasant surprises in the NFL.
Well, we talked about the Buffalo Bills last time. Can the Dolphins push them for a chance at the division? You'll find out next. Well, Nick, they haven't won a postseason game since 2000. They haven't been in the postseason, haven't qualified for the postseason since 2016. Is this the year that the Dolphins kind of get a wild card spot out there and chip their way in? They're the AFC.
I think so. I mean, again, maybe I'll prove myself wrong when we do the win-loss game, but I really like this team. I like this roster. They're gonna go as the quarterback goes, and it is this is what we call last chance you for Tua. You got all the weapons you could possibly want. You got an improved offensive line. If you can't make it happen now, they're gonna be moving on from you. You and Daniel Jones are in the same boat.
Well, that's going to be the question, right? It's going to be all about Tua, as you said, because the word on him is he can only throw the ball 5 yards, right? Of course, they said that about Tom Brady for a long time. They could only throw it 5 yards. Hey, when guys are open and they got separation and you can pick up yardage, they got two fast guys. We cannot start this show without talking about the key addition of Tyreek Hill, one of the most explosive players in all of the NFL.
Yeah, I love this offense, Scott. Again, I don't love their quarterback, but I also don't think Tua is as bad as people think he is. You know, they say he can only throw 5 yards. He was averaging 6.8 yards per reception last year. So let's be clear. He does check down a lot. But if you're going to check down a lot, you're going to check down to guys like Jaylen Waddle. You're going to check down to guys like Tyreek Hill. He also had an offensive line that was not great last year. 20 sacks given up. This is an offensive line that he was under pressure a lot. That number would have been much higher if Tua wasn't as athletic as he was and able to get outside of the pocket. You look at their offense, it's Tua, Tyreek, Jaylen Waddle. By the way, a guy who I think is going to make his name as a top 6 tight end in Mike Gesicki out of Penn State. He had a great year last year. Big frame guy that makes Tua look good. The offensive line got improved this year. They brought in Teron Armstead. That might be the bigger ad than Tyreek Hill is getting Teron Armstead at left tackle, because left tackle is a problem for them all year last year. Now they got Teron Armstead alongside Connor Williams at center, Robert Hunt at right guard. I like this offense. I really do. But, man, Tua does have to take a step forward. I don't think that step is as big as people think it is, but it has to be a step forward.
For some reason, I'm believing at some point in this season that Teddy Bridgewater plays a factor. I don't know why he's very efficient with the ball over the last couple seasons when he had to fill in. I think he's like 12-7. Went 500 with the Broncos a year ago when he filled in for the Saints for a little bit for Drew Brees. I thought he did a good job. I think that's why they pay him a 1 year, $10 million fee for Teddy Two Gloves, knowing, hey man, we got so much talent that if Tua can't get it done, we got somebody that we can go to in a punch. The other thing is, if Tua doesn't play the entire season, remember Jacoby Brissett played, and if you're new to the show, we always say Jacoby Brissett. We know he's Brissett. I've been following him since NC State. But he's Jacoby Brissett on this show, because if you have anything to do with barbecue, we got to work it in.
We got it. If there's somebody whose name is close to sausage, we call him Sausage. Just saying. If there's Greg Sausage, he did the sausage man. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, again, this is let's not forget, when he got drafted, a lot of injury concerns. He had the hip issue at Alabama. Yeah. He had the knee. He missed 4 games last year. Got hurt in that game against the Bills. Only threw 4 passes. But I think that's where you might see Teddy Bridgewater pop in. Listen, he's a competent backup quarterback. He's not exciting, but again, let's not forget, Tyreek Hill had a lot of great plays last year with Patrick Mahomes. He also had a lot of touchdowns that Patrick Mahomes hit him on a slant route. Everybody has this vision of Patrick Mahomes scrambling and throwing it 65 yards downfield, but Patrick Mahomes throws a lot of slants and drags, and when you have a guy like Tyreek Hill who can turn one of those, I think either of these quarterbacks can be competent for sure.
Breakout season on the other side of the ball from Christian Wilkins, but we'll get there in a moment. Yeah. I don't love the running backs on this team.
Chase Edmonds?
I think it's probably the weakest thing about it. That's why I think you're going to see a lot of 5-yard passes. You're going to see a lot of dumps to the tight end.
What's crazy, let's not forget last year, I think the guy that was mostly the number one for them was Myles Gaskin. He's currently listed at 4th on the depth chart. Edmonds, I thought, was good last year with Arizona. He played that second role with James Conner. I think he's solid. Injury concerns. Raheem Mostert's the number 2 bag. He's healthy. He literally just announced on Twitter that he is fully cleared to play. Injury concerns. Sony Michel. Garbage. I think he's actually garbage. I thought he had like one good year in New England, and then he hasn't been that good. I don't love the running backs, but this is going to be a team that's going to use a lot of those swing passes. Look for more jet sweeps with Tyreek. Yeah. Look for more of those pop passes. I think that's how they're going to run the ball.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think they were 30th last year, Nick. 30th out of 32 in running the football. So I think you are going to see them use some of that speed at wide receiver to try to help to get a little bit of a running game going, right? And Tua might have
Samuel.
Tebow might have to use his legs too.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real. What do you see on the defensive side of the ball for this Dolphins team?
There's a lot to like about this defense. There's a lot that's kind of mid. Christian Wilkins, big breakout year last year. I think he's primed. I don't love the guys around him. Raekwon Davis, nice nose tackle, but the D-line is certainly a weak point for them. Their linebackers, Jerome Baker actually had a really nice year for them last year as somebody who can sort of be that linebacker that plays back in coverage. Baker's a really good cover linebacker. And Emmanuel Ogbah, again, a former Brown. This was a guy who was looking for a second.
That's a big signing.
Awesome for them and great bringing him back. This team is built on their secondary, though, Scott. Byron Jones, Xavier Howard might be the best 1-2 punch in the entire league.
I think I might be stepping out of order here. Let me quickly look at the other teams in the division, but I think they got the best secondary in the division. I think they're better than Buffalo,
without a doubt,
especially with White being out.
I think legit that 1-2 punch, that secondary, and then you add in Javon Holland and Brandon Jones. It's a top 5 unit in the league, not just anywhere else. I mean, Xavier Howard was stellar last year, and Byron Jones was such a great pickup. And don't forget, they got some depth behind him. Really like Noah Igbenogany as that nickel corner. He played nice last year. This team's built. Listen, it's going to be about coverage. It's going to be about being able to lock to their top 2 receivers. As long as Byron Jones and Xavier Howard can stay relatively healthy, this secondary is going to lead that defense.
I think it sounds so dumb to say this, but you know what I mean. They're going to have to outscore people to be successful this year. And I know that's the name of the game. Score more points than the other team, you get to win. But I think there's going to be some times that, they're going to have to come out here and just put up a bunch of points to be successful. The things that I don't like about this team, rookie head coach and Tua.
Yeah, I mean,
and the running game. If I had to put a number 3 in there, I don't like the running game of this team at all.
And let's also, it's important to note Byron Jones is currently, as of today, on the PUP list. He's coming off that surgery on his leg. They're saying he's going to be close to beginning of the year back, but that's important to watch. Listen, Tua is their biggest question mark. Mike McDaniel coming in, obviously rookie head coach, be interesting to watch. But if there's one thing that's working for him, he comes from a really good coaching tree. He's in that Shanahan-McVay tree, and boy, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Zach Taylor, Matt LaFleur. I mean, that's a good tree to be from. He certainly has the skills to do it. I'm just interested to watch him. I do feel bad for him because am I the only one that thinks that he is going to be, until he is fired or wins a Super Bowl, compared to Robert Flores in a negative way? Brian Flores, excuse me. If Brian Flores was here, he would have done this. Like, that's what sucks, is that Brian Flores was a really good coach and I think should probably still be the coach in Miami. I think that's sort of where Mike McDaniel's biggest challenge is going to be, is not letting that get to him.
I know we're getting close to the season, so I'm going to throw some fantasy football out there. Mike Gesicki, now that you got Waddle and you got Tyreek out there as well, Gesicki's going to get a lot of man-to-man coverage with linebackers. Tua cannot throw the ball very far, and it's all about the red zone when you come to fantasy. He's going to be their main red zone target, especially if they're not able to run the football. And 9-8 a year ago.
Yeah.
Close.
Not bad.
Cigar.
Not bad with, by the way, Jacoby Brissett starting 4 games.
It's true.
And losing to Jacksonville.
They did lose to the Jags. Oops.
They did lose to the Jags. And Tua did play in that game. And oops.
Hey, well, Trevor Lawrence finally beat Tua. That's all we needed. 2000 to schedule. You ready to jump into it? 9-8 a year ago. Let's see if they can beat that.
Yep.
They're going to get a test in the preseason, by the way. They got Tampa Bay, they got Las Vegas, and Philly. So I think that's going to get them ready for the season. September 11th at home.
Yeah.
They face the Patriots.
Yep.
1 p.m. kickoff.
The Miami Dolphins will start out the season 1-0. I've got them beating the Patriots to open things up. I think they're a better team than the Patriots. And if there's one team that Bill Belichick has not done great against, as I'm watching Rob Gronkowski take a bad angle to stop the Miami Miracle, it is the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins at home to start off the year.
And this is going to be, it's the key games for them, obviously, in the division is going to be New England. They got to beat them twice. They got to beat the Jets twice. And then if they could split with Buffalo, things could get interesting in that division. So 1-0, they go up and they face the Ravens in Baltimore to start the season. And I believe that's their home opener, I think. I'd have to scroll back here and
it
look
is.
at...
Yeah, because they play on the road to kick things off.
It doesn't matter who the Ravens play in. That's in the past. We already done that episode.
Yeah, the Ravens start out in New York, so this.
But they're gonna be excited. They're gonna they're facing Tua and Tyreek in the home opener.
Yeah, I mean, listen. We have said over and over we're not big fans of this Baltimore team, and with Xavier Howard and possibly Byron Jones out there, might be locking down Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. I think
they're going to be in a full house.
Yeah.
Pistol formation.
Yeah.
There's going to be no wideouts out there.
I've got Baltimore winning this game. 2 reasons. It is a home game for Baltimore. We talked about how tough M&T Bank Stadium is. Home opener for Baltimore. And this Baltimore defense is actually really good.
I think it's a low-scoring game.
Yeah, it's a low-scoring game.
And that's the thing. The Ravens have one of the best secondaries in the league.
Yeah.
So if there's any team that can really press up on Miami, like get up ons in the club, I think it's going to be this Baltimore team. It is still a toss-up for me, but I wouldn't be surprised for the Ravens to win like a 10-7 kind of game.
Yeah, and again, my biggest fear with doing this podcast is I can't wait till somebody compares our Baltimore show and looks back and goes, actually, in that one, you said the Baltimore Ravens were going to lose that game 34-31.
The Ravens are in the Super Bowl, and we're just like, we're done.
I don't know what to tell you.
Super Mario speedrunners is now what we do. That's the name of our show.
It's going to be a tough game for them, but I have Baltimore in a close game, but 50-50 coin flip.
So 1-1, and they face Buffalo at home.
Yeah.
What a way to start the season at home if you got the season ticket package. You get to see New England, Buffalo, Minnesota, Pittsburgh as your first 4 home games. But let's back up to September 25th. We just talked about it 2 days ago.
I remember what I said for this one. Okay, this is the only one I've ever remembered because we just recorded it. Give me the Miami Dolphins to beat Buffalo.
You said the Dolphins were going to win this one.
I got the Dolphins. It's a home game for them. Coming off of a loss against Baltimore, possibly. They might be 3-0 at this point, let's be honest. But I do like them to get Buffalo early. I think they get a benefit by playing Buffalo early because there's some new moving pieces. No Tre'Davious White at the early season. So give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're really like 2.75 wins at this point. It's somewhere. It's not quite 3. But they're somewhere close. So 2-1. I think they've got 4 days to get ready for the Bengals. I think they get land blasted up at Cincinnati.
I do too. Even though I like the matchup of the secondary of Cincinnati, which has been questionable. Hey, Eli Apple, how you doing? Former Buckeye. Thanks for repping the U.
I just got followed by Eli Apple's mom. No.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But yeah, 4 days rest going into the defending AFC champions house. I got Cincinnati. I think it's going to be a 2-score game. I think Joey B will be fine with a little SEC rivalry taking on Tua.
Yeah, there you go. 2-2.
Yep.
10 days off to face the Jets. That's plenty.
They're going to beat the Jets. Listen, I do think, and I'm excited to do the Jets game, the win-loss game, because I think a lot of these games are closer than people think. I think the Jets are much improved
They're
this year.
They're going to play some teams tough this season.
And Zach Wilson has 99 dog in him. Yeah, it's the Jets. Even though it's a road game, the extra rest helps them.
Is it, though?
Is it? Yeah, well,
most people from New York have some
there will
sort
be some
of
Giants fans there. Yeah. But I don't see a long rest week. The Dolphins coming off this one and losing.
I'm pretty sure geographically it goes New York, then Florida's in there, and then New Jersey's like somewhere after Florida.
Right, somewhere around there.
Couple days later, a week later, in fact, they go. They host Minnesota.
Yeah.
A Vikings team that we think is going to be make some surprises this year.
Yeah, I got the Vikings actually winning this game. I think the Vikings are a really good team, and I think they have the build to compete against the Dolphins in that they have an offense that can keep up. They got a good run game. They're going to be able to control it. I got Minnesota in this game by a touchdown. A little wake-up call maybe for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that could be their first home loss because you got them beating the Pats and Buffalo to start off in the division. So they're sitting at 3-3. Here come the Steelers, back-to-back home games.
And I got them beating the Steelers because the Steelers are bad.
That's Sunday night game, by the way. I think that's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
If that game was in Pittsburgh,
I think it's more of a toss-up. And I think...
what if Kenny Pickett's amazing?
Then I'll eat this hat. Okay. Here's the thing. I actually think this game is going to be close because I think the Pittsburgh defense is stellar, and I think the defense is going to get after the Dolphins. And no, I don't remember if I said Pittsburgh won this game in the first one, but I got the Dolphins at home, but it's going to be a close game. This is one of those games. Hey, listen, you want to talk about trap games? That next week, I think there might be an egg laid.
Talk about going to Detroit.
I've got the Detroit Lions
4-3.
I got the Lions winning that game. I do. I just think this is one of those losses that I put in there as I think they're going to lose one of these games somewhere, and I put Detroit down. Listen, the Lions play with heart. Dan Campbell gets them amped up. They're not the worst team in the world.
They're not. They might be number 2 in that division this year, by the way.
And let's be clear, this Dolphins team has a tendency to lay eggs against bad teams. They lost to Jacksonville last year. I think this is their egg-laying one, coming off 2 brutal games against Minnesota and Pittsburgh that are going to leave them battered and bruised. I'm not sure they'll be fully healthy. We don't like playing that game I think he's going to get injured in Week 6.
No, we can't do that.
I think that's where they lay egg. I think Detroit sneaks one out at home, and then goes into November, which is their least favorite month in the world.
So 4-4 are the Miami Dolphins. They go to Chicago. So a short trip between Detroit and Chicago, still on the road. Mm-hmm. I think they beat the Bears. I think
do too.
That's fair to say.
It's going to be a tough game. If there's a game that this is going to be the game that weather's going to determine a lot. If this is an ugly November Chicago game, the Dolphins are going to struggle because they don't have a great run game and have 4 running backs that everybody's opinion of is they are technically running backs. But I think they're better than the Bears. I think, especially possibly coming off of a loss in Detroit, they're going to come in ready to play, and they're going to take care of the Bears. And they're staring at Week 11, going, "Can it get here already?" I'm trying to get to a bye week.
Well, they're getting close to a bye week. Sitting at 5-4, they face Cleveland. At home.
Yep, I got Cleveland winning this game, no matter who's starting quarterback.
Hey, Jacoby Brissett's coming back.
That's what I'm saying. If Brissett's playing, it's a Brissett revenge game. I mean, listen, this team, Miami is not built great to stop the run. The Browns love to run the ball. And if there's 2 corners that can try to contain what they've got going on, I love Denzel Ward against Tyreek Hill. I love possibly seeing the rookie Greg Newsome having to go up against Jaylen Waddle.
So you like Cleveland in this one?
Yeah, I got Cleveland. I do. Right. I no matter who the if Deshaun Watson's there, I think they beat them by a decent amount. But yeah,
they got back-to-back bye weeks.
They do.
Sitting at 5-5, they come off a bye to host the Texans.
Are we allowed to say that as a win? Because I feel like it's not fair to give everyone a win. But yeah, the Houston Texans.
I just feel for that organization right now. It's a good organization. I've had many good run-ins with the Texans. It just has all fallen apart.
It's been a long time since Andre Johnson was there. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Here's how I know it's long. Andre Johnson is a legend in Madden. I'm oh God, has it been really that long?
All right, so they're 6-5. They got to go to San Francisco. This is an East-West travel day.
East-West travel game, but I got the Dolphins winning this one for one reason and one reason only. You know my saying, Trey Lance sucks. And if Trey Lance is playing, he sucks. They might be playing Jimmy G, but I'm going
We
on the
don't
opinion.
know. I mean, that is going to be a tough one because
it's July. No one knows who's starting quarterback. But I'm going off of what everybody has assumed has been the case.
It's getting to be August, though. August is around the bend. So figure it out. December 11th, they go down the coast to Los Angeles.
By the way,
and face the Chargers.
Who did this schedule for the Dolphins? Who hates them? Look at those 3 road games.
It gets really bad because you got to get all the wins you can up to this point, right? So they're sitting at 7-5,
and then they're going to go to 7-6. They're not. The Chargers are going to beat the brakes off of them.
Yep.
The Chargers, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL.
And then they go all the way back across the country, about as far as you can go. LA to Buffalo is a haul, and probably stopping into Miami in between there. By the way,
I got the Bills in that one. I think the road game.
I think
the road game is tough.
I think they crush them.
Yeah, I think that is a San Fran, LA, Buffalo. Do you just question? If you're the Dolphins, are you just staying in California between San Fran and LA? Like, is there any shot you fly back?
There's no reason to go home.
Right, you just stay there, right?
Yeah, you just go right down the coast.
Yeah, I got that is a tough 3-game stretch, and it doesn't get any easier coming back. Even though I like this Dolphins team, they might go 0-3 in that stretch legitimately. Like, that might be an 0-3 stretch, but I think they get one, and I think that one is San Francisco.
Christmas Day, 1 p.m. People on the West Coast have not even taken down their stockings yet.
No.
They face Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, which is the only thing to fear about this Green Bay team.
Yeah, I've got the Dolphins winning this game. It's a home game against Green Bay. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, but here's the thing. I don't like Allen Lazard. I don't like Christian Watson that much. Maybe Christian Watson will turn into something. Everything I've heard about him.
Seriously, before we go any further, why are we in Miami on Christmas Day?
I mean, what does Green Bay have? Lambeau Field? Like, who cares? Oh, gotcha.
But I'm just saying, it could be a winter wonderland. We could have some festive... But no, instead... That's where all the NFL writers will be, by the way. That's the game that they'll be covering.
We got Cubano sandwiches on Christmas. Come on.
Stephen A. will be like, however, I'm down in South Beach.
Give me my steak, medium well. No, I think I'm not big on this Green Bay team. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, but, and by I mean as a player, as a human being, I hate everything about him. I like the Dolphins winning this game.
He's a heck of a quarterback. Yeah. A complete weirdo, right? Yeah. Such a weirdo.
Yeah.
I've done things with him, though, and he was actually super nice to me, so I can't say anything.
Well,
I will also say I'm a weirdo. Throw me in there as well.
Let me ask you this. Has he turned into a weirdo, or was he always a weirdo?
Always that way. I think anybody that has a strange relationship with their family, whether it's warranted or not, it just does things to you. Like, we did a thing at the Super Bowl probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Probably 4 years ago now. In Atlanta? 4 years ago?
That was
Atlanta? Does that sound right?
Yeah. COVID, 2020 is
so maybe it's 3 years
but yeah, I believe it was 4 years ago.
And it's super nice guy, super great time. You know, he ragged on me for being a Bears fan. And, you know,
and you went, I'm sad, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But super nice guy, but everything else everyone says is complete weirdo. But amazing quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my favorite to watch. So I'd rather watch Rodgers than Brady. Like, hands down, anytime.
I would too, yeah.
Speaking of Brady, his old team, that's who you're facing. You're sitting at 8-7.
Yeah.
And these next 2 games are huge for maybe getting a playoff berth.
Yeah.
At New England on New Year's Day.
Game.
Screw college football.
Foxborough. I really want to take the Dolphins because I really want to see them get there, but I cannot bet against Bill Belichick.
Their speed is useless up there. Useless, their speed.
Sorry. I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch, but I got the Patriots in a close one. I think check down Mac is going to get it done.
I was up there it might have been around January. And I was up there with our buddy Rico, and I went and walked out on the actual playing surface in like a December, January, pleasant day. Yeah. And I'm like, this is horrible. This field is like your driveway. Yeah. There's nothing they can do about it. There's literally nothing. Like, the field's in great shape.
Yeah.
It's not a track meet up there, especially going against, you basically got 2 game managers playing each other.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with you. We are now sitting at 8-8. with the Jets
and
to
they
close
finished
out
9-8. Like, they get the win.
Yeah, that's what they did a year ago.
Yep. I think that it's a very similar year to last year, even though I think this team is better. The schedule doesn't do them a lot of favors. I think you're probably looking with this team ceiling of 10 wins. I don't think much above 10. They certainly maybe 11, but I'm going to say 10 because I just don't see them. Obviously, I gave them that loss in Detroit and Baltimore. I think they can win one of those games for sure, and they might be a 10-win team. But, New England is a toss-up. Buffalo's a toss. I gave them a good win over Buffalo, and I'm not sure they might get
got to beat Detroit. Like, if you go back and look at these games, they have to beat Baltimore. They have to beat Detroit for some of the games that we were kind of, if they could maybe get one away from the Chargers or something like that. Maybe. I just don't see it. I from what we're looking at right here, unless Tua just turns into like some amazing downfield, even medium, like 15 to 20 yard passer, they miss out on the playoffs again. Because I think it's the teams from the AFC West that are going to be stealing some wild card spots.
I think this team is a good team. I think this team is kind of stuck in purgatory with Tua. I think they will move on from Tua after this year. I like this team. I think you're looking at a ceiling of 10 wins. I think you're looking at a floor of 7. I'm not much below that. I think this team is decent. Like, this is a team that screams mediocrity. And if you have literally any top 15 quarterback on this team is not only a playoff team, they're a contender. It's just Tua is Tua.
And that, I mean, we hit
above 500.
Yeah, above 500 again. Chance to get to maybe 10 wins. If they get to 10 wins, I think they do work their way into the playoffs. I just think the AFC is going to be really tough to make the postseason this year.
I think the AFC West is going to ruin every mediocre team's chance of making the playoffs because they might get 4 teams in. Who knows?
When we come back next Tuesday, it'll be the New England Patriots. We'll see. We'll go through their win-loss and see if maybe they can hop over Miami inside the division, or will they be heading down to New York Jets territory? That's who's hanging out in the basement. We look forward to bringing you another show right here. Scott Cole, Nick Mazesco. We'll see you next time.